So it looks like a job listing for GTA 6 was actually found. We're going to be discussing if it actually is for the next Grand Theft Auto game, if it's just for something at Rockstar in general, and a whole lot more. So this was discovered a couple of days ago on the GTA 6 subreddit by a user Bong Ripa the Skeptic. I'll leave a link to that post in the description. They said information found for GTA 6 on the Rockstar jobs opening page. He said, "Hi, there is a vacant position at Rockstar New England Studio for a VFX artist. Here is some of the information on what we may expect from Rockstar's next new title. The visual effects help to immerse the player in a believable world, from using ambient effects for things like insects around the player and rain dripping off buildings, up to large-scale destruction events like skyscrapers crashing to the ground. The insects around the player does seem like an obvious addition to the game if it was set around Florida, all the recent leaks are pointing to, and the large-scale destruction events also lend some hints to that recent leak, including information that hurricanes are present in the next title. Could be quite accurate. What are your thoughts on all this?" So I will leave a link to the entire post in the description. You can actually look at the career job listing or position opening yourself. They also say that they control vast networks of data that drive many large systems, that their technology is used to tie the world together, weapons create bullet impacts, vehicles kick up dirt and smoke and may leave debris when they crash, objects get dirty when they fall in the mud. So this individual was taking what they said as to be direct GTA 6 hints. Now, you guys also might be wondering, well, why would a Rockstar studio in New England be working on GTA 6? Well, a project as massive as the next Grand Theft Auto game is going to require probably all of the studios to be working on it. Rockstar North, Rockstar San Diego, all the Rockstar studios, including, I would imagine, this one from New England, are going to be able to work on this because they're going to need work from all different departments and as much manpower as possible. So getting back to the two things that I think people are latching onto here: insects surrounding you when you're, out in the open. We kind of saw that in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like if you were in the swamp or standing still, that Arthur or John would sort of like brush things away from their face. I don't know if that necessarily means the game is going to be in Florida or Vice City. There are insects everywhere. Now, granted, it does hint to the fact that they would be around, so that is plausible. And then large-scale destruction events like skyscrapers crashing to the ground. I don't necessarily think that means hurricanes are going to be confirmed either. There could just be destruction events that happen in the game. We saw that a lot in GTA 5. We saw that even more so in Red Dead Redemption 2, where the world is altered and changed due to the things you might end up doing. So that's pretty cool, and things that occur during the actual missions. So bottom line and long story short here, I think this really could just be an example of what a VFX designer may be expected to do, not necessarily what is going to happen. But as I mentioned, Rockstar has dipped their toe into these destruction events before, like in GTA 5 when you pulled the house off the hill. So it does make sense that they would increase the scale of destruction. And also keep in mind that GTA 5 happens to have an ugly looking half-finished skyscraper that people have been asking to be finished or destroyed since 2013. So this very much could be a GTA Online update, and assuming that that's assuming that the skyscraper destruction is happening and not just a cool thing to put in there to make the job sound more appealing. It's just a thought, that's for sure, but this entire thing is interesting. Now, a lot of people in the community are also getting worried that Rockstar is just staffing some of these positions. A lot of people are like, this game is going to be 10 freaking years away at this rate. I really wouldn't panic about that. I would assume they have dozens of VFX artists, and this is just an advertising for one of those roles, probably not an entire team. And sound effects could be one of those things that you do at the last minute of game development and might not really affect anything. Also, people get reassigned, people get replaced. It could be staff rotation. So don't get too freaked out here. And then again, going back to the insect part, I think this is interesting. I also don't believe this is for a GTA Online update. I'm just really thinking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Your clothes would get dirty in a very dynamic way. So, for example, if you fell on the ground and your body was covered in mud, NPCs would start commenting on your dirty clothes, and the insects could just be an extension of that system. Like, for example, if you're covered in mud or filth or don't wash or change your clothes, small insects like flies could appear around you or surround you. Or if you were in a swampy area like the outskirts of Vice City, you might see mosquitoes or our characters sort of slapping the air trying to get rid of them. Another thing to consider is that if Rockstar is specifically developing this game for the new generation consoles, the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, those developer kits weren't available until 2018 or 2019. It was one of those years. So if Rockstar didn't start development until then, or really couldn't get going developing until then, and it takes about 5 to 6 years to make one of these games, 8 for Red Dead Redemption 2, it's not surprising that we haven't heard anything quite yet, and that we're getting all these projects to keep us busy, or maybe that's the wrong way to put it, because we're going to enjoy the games like the GTA trilogy and Grand Theft Auto 5 expanded and enhanced, but maybe that's the reason why it legitimately is taking so long. Maybe Rockstar wants to make GTA 6 have things like this, like the insects and the extreme destruction, and they don't want to have to build the game for the PS4 and Xbox One as well. They only want to do it for the next-gen systems, making it the most impressive GTA game yet. So if that's the case, I can kind of understand that. I just wish there would still be more transparency here and that we would hear more from Rockstar. But that's wishful thinking. They've got their own way of doing things, and we'll probably hear about GTA 6 whenever they are ready. So I would honestly love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think of the 2 things from this VFX jobs listing at Rockstar New England, and do you think they are applicable to GTA 6 with the insects, with the large-scale destruction? And do you guys want to see both of those things? I personally think that the level of detail in Red Dead Redemption 2 with the way players would comment on your outfits, or if you got dirty or stuff like that, it made it one of the best single-player experiences of all time. So I would absolutely love if that was similar in GTA 6. And as far as like the large-scale destruction goes, I thought they've been building on that quite well from GTA 5 to RDR2, and I'd love to see an extension, or I should say an expansion of that in GTA 6. So if this is for both of those things, I honestly think this is great news. But like I said, I would love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. So please let me know what you think about that down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.